Hey, back out of Brambleberry, and I'm gonna do a little bit more work on this little seep that I'm trying to develop out here. And I came out first off just to see if there was water still coming in after I did the work in the last video, and there is. It's filling that hole up nicely. So as you can see there, we got a hole full of water, and it's come up enough that it's starting to go out this trench a little bit and soak back in. It is pretty slow, but like I said before, after some time that'll build up if we put in a collection system. I don't know how fast, but we're gonna give it a go and see what we can get accomplished. So right now you can see there's a pretty good amount of space there that if I dammed, I'm thinking about I'm gonna dam up across this trench here so that the water builds up behind it. I think I'm gonna dig a little bit more out of this trench because I don't want the water to be all the way up to the top, because I still want to have some room to fill over the top of this, because the other part of this is I got to keep runoff out of here if I want to keep this water clean. And there's a big ditch coming straight down here that I'm gonna have to, so if I hill this up over the top of it, that's gonna help keep the water from going in. And I'll probably even go back a little further and just cut a ditch or something across that way and out this way to kind of divert all that water off. But right now I'm thinking dam right across here, and I'm going to dig this out a little bit more so that I can go a little bit deeper with it. That's the idea. It'll probably change. Well, I got my trench dug out here for where I'm going to put my dam, and it doesn't look like it's going to have to be a very big one, which is good. And I've got I just kind of piled up some of that clay dirt there in front of it, and you can see that it's definitely not letting any of the water through. Some of that clay, I got a bunch of it back over here. It's kind of hard to see because it's a mess right now, but I'm gonna put that clay down in there and try to seal up around the edges of the dam. So for my dam, I'm gonna be using or cutting a piece out of this drum here. It's a food grade drum. I'm not actually going to need that big of a piece, which is great, but still going to ruin the drum for using it like I would normally. I originally got these for rain barrels and never ended up using them for that. I'll make use of the scraps of it for something else, but right now the idea is to we'll probably cut the top out here, and then I'm going to measure down how tall, which I kind of stuck my drain spade there down in that trench that I dug out, and basically the length of the spade here is how deep I need this, or how tall I need this to be. So cut down here to get this curved part out, so we're down to like a flat part, and then kind of measure it out and cut it out of there. So there's my spade, which I'm using to kind of measure this. So actually I'm gonna use this lip. There's like a, I don't know what that is, a little bulge out there, and as my guide down here, and then up here I'm gonna cut about the halfway point all the way around that, because that's kind of where that bend starts, and then I should have a fairly flat piece of material to work with. There's the first cut, and this here would make a nice little bucket for something. And then this one I'm just gonna kind of eyeball. Well, let's see how it came out here. Yeah. There we go. It kind of worked out for me that my guide there on my saw fit right in there and was about where I needed to cut. Let's see here how we did. Yeah, that looks about right to me. Maybe a little big, but that's okay. Better too big than too small. Well, then we got to cut this long ways and figure out our length on it. So with this, just pick a spot and go for it. It's kind of a rough edge here. I'm just gonna go around with my knife and I'm gonna clean that up. All right, so there's the dam. More or less fits in there. Might need to do a little bit of trimming and a little bit of digging still, but I take it out and get the fittings marked for it. So on this side, there's going to be 2 holes. One of them, the lower one's going to be the main water output, and then if for some reason we have a big rain event and a bunch of water comes through here, there'll be a overflow that comes out the tops there. So I got these bulkhead fittings that I'm going to use for the outlets on here, and I did not get a drill bit that will drill out a hole, or a hole saw that will drill out a hole big enough for this. I forgot to bring it with me, and the biggest spade bit I get is 1.5 inches, which is pretty close, but not quite. So I think what I'm going to do is drill that out with this and then make the best of it, because I don't want to run out and get some more bits or a hole saw. This bottom one here is going to be for the main line coming out of the spring. All right, I drilled out with that spade bit. So, but anyway, I'm gonna try to cut the rest of this out with this scroll saw here. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but we'll see if it works. Almost. So these bulkhead fittings have this rubber gasket, and then I always forget, but they when you thread this collar back on, it threads backwards. There we go. Clean up some of those burrs on there best I can. Right, now we're gonna go up a little ways here. This is very scientific, and we're gonna make our overflow hole. And just so we're clear, I'm eyeballing this. Got that one on the first try. There's probably a right and wrong way to put these in, but I don't know what it is, so I'm just gonna do it my way. My way of thinking, this little ring here should go on the inside. And then this dude goes on the outside and tightens up. Always try to put that on the wrong way. Man, you get so used to twisting things righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, when it's the opposite, it really messes with your head. Maybe. go. This will set down in that little trench, and then this will be my outflow here, an overflow here. All right, I got the dam set in there, the little plane in the mud. I got that clay all pushed down around the bottom and the side edges there, and then I'll backfill all that too, of course. The question is, does it hold water? And I'm trying to decide now if I'm going to take my little clay dam out, or if I first want to start building some pipes. I think I'm going to start building some pipes first. Let that clay that's down there kind of set up and set in some. All right, so we got some pipes made up, ready to put in, and I'll give you a look here at what we got going on. Yeah, so I got some, this is all 1-inch pipe, by the way, 1-inch schedule 40. Got a couple of fittings screwed into those bulkhead fittings there. I did put some Teflon tape on them. I don't know if you absolutely need that, but I decided I wanted to. And then I cut, this is just one, that's the top, the overflow drain there, but I cut identical pieces for the main line and the overflow. So I got a piece coming out here, and then a 45 to turn it and come up into this trench here. Remember, the spring's coming out down under there, so I want to get the pipes up over that area. And then I've got pipes with holes cut out or drilled all in them there, and a cap put on the end. And this pipe is going to fit down on that and come over out into the trench this way. So next step, now I got my pipes dug or made. I need to take this one out actually, and not all of these are not going to be taped, by the way. They're just going to be dry fitted in there because there's water flowing into them anyway and out. And if you want to get in here and take this out and have to do anything with it, it'll be easier if it's doesn't have that. And I'm just now remembering I need to put in a shock port on this, so I'm not done with the pipes yet. Hold the phone. All right, so that was an easy fix. This is gonna be my overflow drain, and then this pipe's gonna stick up out of the spring, and I just put a push-on fitting with threads on it, and it'll have a little screw-on cap here, where if I need to, I can shock the spring with some peroxide or whatever. All right, time to do some digging. You know, as much as I hate using them, these little post hole diggers have been great for getting material out of here. And now, just kind of looking around my dam here to see if I see any water coming through. Gotta make sure I got enough material out of the way there for that pipe to come across. I know I do back here because I dug down quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but probably not. Looks like there is a little bit of water coming through. So, to get some more clay and put in there. All right, so I put some more clay in there, and it's holding some water back, but it's really hard to tell if it's still coming out or if the water that's down there is just left from when it was coming through, because this little spring or seep or whatever is so slow. I think what's probably gonna have to happen is I'm just gonna have to wait. So I think I may be at a close for today. as I don't want to put all my pipes in here and then have to rip the dam out again and redo the dam. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna wait on that for now and come back another day. So before I headed out today, I just got to thinking, if this does start filling up here and coming out, it's gonna pour in there and I'm not gonna be able to tell anyway. So I went ahead and screwed a pipe in there and brought it out so that, well, if it doesn't leak, it'll bring the water out here instead of filling up that hole in front of the dam. Who knows if it'll work, but it's worth a shot.